Hey everyone! So boxing is back at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden this weekend. Richardson Hitchins is defending his IBF 140 strap for the first time. Not against Mateus, who is actually his mandatory, but former 135 champion looking to become a two-division champion on his 32nd birthday, George Kambosos Jr. Now, since he upset Teofimo, also at the Hulu Theater, it's been a deep valley for George. He's gone 2-3. And now he's just looking, honestly, to catch lightning in a bottle for what's left of his career. I don't see it being a long stretch left for him. But it makes Richardson Hitchins look a little timid targeting Kambosos. You know, it's concerning that he's not zeroing in on one of the other champs right off the bat. Or at least someone ranked higher than Kambosos is. It's bothersome. But before we get into this fight prediction, do me a favor, guys. Please like the video, share it out, punch that subscribe button. And down below, you tell me who you think takes this fight. So Hitchins is that typical boxing style, you know, good right hand, solid double jab that he fights behind. Not rim-rocking power. I mean, he can knock you out, but it's more of an accumulation of shots, you know, it's the grand total. However, the 6-inch reach that he has over Kambosos is going to be such a big key in the fight. Kambosos is going to struggle getting inside, but he has to with no fear. Not being too reckless, because he can be too reckless at times, but he can't go in with fear, you know. He has to make this fight really ugly. Along the ropes, in the corners, just grind him. That's a path to victory for George Kambosos. Especially since Hitchins has never really been tested. Hitchins can obviously control distance. He can control the pace of the fight with counters. Lomachenko and Devin Haney were able to outbox George Kambosos. Richardson Hitchins is not on their level. Teofimo Lopez tried to firefight with Kambosos, and Kambosos won. I don't see Richardson Hitchins trying to, you know, do something that he's not, which is a power puncher. So I don't see him getting dogged into a firefight. But if Kambosos can make it ugly enough along the ropes and in the corners, you never know. It might try to pull a dog out of the Brooklyn boy. Now, it's the second fight for George at 140, and I think he should have his sea legs under him now. One other thing that George has to look out for is he gets hit a lot to the body. And those double jabs from a distance that Richardson has is going to hurt him. And it's going to slow him down and make him that much more of a target. So I think that should be a concern in the Kambosos camp, as well as the left hooks that Hitchins is going to throw and most likely land on him. Now, Lemos managed to push Hitchins the hardest he's been pushed coming into this fight. I think even this advanced stage for George Kambosos is better than Lemos's. So it's something Hitchins is going to need to be aware of. He has to stay off the center line, because if he stays on the center line and just moves straight back, George will tee off on him. You know, he still has some pop left in his gloves. There's a couple of birds outside the window right now. Getting distracted, sorry. Word supposedly is that Keyshawn Davis also has now called out Richardson Hitchins, and that's really rich. I think Keyshawn Davis needs to worry about taking care of himself and all of his nonsense away from the ring. The fact that he's going to be fined $1 bazillion, and honestly, he could be looking at a lawsuit too. You know, getting into a brouhaha with the police in Norfolk. He should not be concentrating on calling out anybody. But here's the fight prediction. I think George Kambosos is flying halfway around the planet on his 32nd birthday, not to lose. He is a massive underdog. And honestly, if we're looking at this fight as just talent, then this fight ends inside of the first round for Hitchins. Because Hitchins, on paper, is just so much more talented. But you never, ever, ever bet against someone's heart, especially if they're someone that's gritty and durable, and fighting to show that he has something left in the tank. I am going to go with, once again, a Hulu Theater boxing shocking upset. I am taking George Kambosos Jr. to upset Richardson Hitchins. And not on the scorecards the way he did Teofimo. I think in the 11th round, it's going to get stopped. I really think Kambosos shocks the boxing world right now. And then, you know, we're off to the races, because God knows what he'll do next. But I think Hitchins the big man upstairs gets a birthday present, becomes a 2-division champion. There's your semi-fast fight prediction. So guys, do me a favor, please. Like the video, share it out, subscribe to the channel, and down below you tell me who you think's going to win. Lots of content coming out. So until that content does come out, Cyclone saying, peace out, home skis.